Hello and welcome to the Tree of Geek, episode 8.
Dead Horse Beatdown.
What in the world does that mean, you're probably asking yourself? Well, the expression beating a dead horse means driving something into the ground or over milking it. Tonight we're going to be looking at franchises that have been beaten to death for monetary purposes and franchises that have been beaten to death because people think we want them, the sequels, but we really don't.
Don't know what you want till it's gone.
So I'm joined tonight with H-Train. H-Train, what's going on in your world tonight?
Jugga. My world tonight? Man. I'm gonna tell you how my day's been going. Okay, so I decided yesterday. This was yesterday's story, but I'm gonna tell you today. I got my Pokemon open. I'm like, I get distracted. I need space, so I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of all these stupid red balls, cut them down so I can hit these 5 Pokestops right next to me. Get distracted. Next thing I know, I've deleted all 180 of my Great Balls. Yeah, I cleared up some space. I'm back up to 26 of them. But luckily I got a lot of friends. I deliver to a lot of places. I see a lot of Pokestops, but that hurt, especially because today.
And how do you feel about
which
this?
is we're in the future. Not great. I mean, because they just started the Halloween big thing today. Catch ghost Pokemon and Stardust and all that. So that was a little heartbreaking.
I can imagine.
But it gives you a challenge to get back there. I still got like 200 some odd. I don't have as many as you do, but it's not getting to your inventory count. It's a bit ridiculous. Some of us aren't that. I mean, and I'm way more than our other friends. Like Zach doesn't even have close to what I got.
Oh, wow.
And you're just astronomical.
Yeah, well, it's because I've been playing since the beginning, and I'm not gonna lie, I put way too much money into like buying Pokemon storage and bag storage, and
I've bought some here and there, but maybe $100 altogether.
See, I'm that guy that playing an RPG, I save every health potion I get. I don't use them, and at the end of the game, I beat it, and I have like 10,000 in my bag. I'm like that with the Ultra Balls. I have like 1,200 because I refuse to use them.
There's a little tiny video of this larger gentleman, and somebody asks them about dumping money into Pokemon, and he's like, "No, well, I mean, if your theory of yeah, that's what you do. I'm spending $100 a week, but if no one else is doing it, that they don't really, And he just goes on and on and on. I'm sure if any Pokemon fans out there or any TikTokers, I mean, it's all over that place.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
I'll send it to you. I'll find it. I send it to the whole entire group. Like I was dying.
Oh, wow. Yeah, please send me that.
It's all about spending money on Pokemon.
Well, there was a video once of a guy playing Magic the Gathering, and he did a lot of videos. Like, I guess his big thing was that he was always angry, and he lost. And also, you just see him stand up and flip the card table. Magic cards go flying everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know if the same guy was in that video because I just saw that one the other day. I wonder if it's the same dude.
It might be.
He gets really angry. He's like, "Ugh." But anyway, that's my rant about Pokemon. As far as other geeky things, man, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this: are you watching season 2 of Loki? No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
I would say the 3rd episode dropped, I think, today.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch it yet.
Well,
but so
I dropped
far,
Disney, so I gotta lag.
Yeah. So far, I'm really enjoying season 2. It's holding up nicely to season 1.
It's a bit slow.
We'll get into some of that later. Yeah. I'm sure.
By the way, Netflix, thanks for raising the prices again. You're about to disappear too, homie.
So first you make it so we can't share accounts, even with family members if you're in a different household. And now you're raising the price on the people that you just screwed over who had to go buy their own accounts.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I don't watch a lot on Netflix anyhow.
We don't have it anymore. We have Peacock because
don't have it.
Through Xfinity, I was able to get 2 free years of Peacock because I'm like a diamond member or whatever, like a rewards thing for being with them for so long.
Over here.
And then we have Hulu, and that's
I'm just a lump of coal.
That's it.
Well then, I mean, it all ties into what we're talking about today with these dead horses everywhere. Keep shooting them, man, and they won't drink. Is that how the saying goes? Not at all.
No.
But so basically, we're going to talk about anything geek wise here. This isn't just like any old TV show series or movie series that's like, let's stop making bad boys movies. That doesn't fall in this realm. Okay. I'm sure you guys out there already know kind of where we're headed, and I'm sure that you guys are going to let us know what we missed.
Oh, at this
and
exact
you're probably
moment,
going to be like, you guys are insane. Why would you even say that? We definitely need more of that.
At this exact moment, so many people are saying "yup" and then saying the name of what they don't want to see anymore.
We hear you out there, Johnny. We hear you, buddy.
So we got to give a big shout out. Our boy Steep once again has written in. This was originally his idea for an episode. Go through some stuff that we don't want to see sequels to. We're also kicking around the idea of eventually doing what we would like to see sequels to.
That was going to be part of this, but
But
yeah.
this turned into a lot bigger production than we expected.
Yeah.
But again, Steve, I appreciate your input. We really do. And if you
Love
want
it.
to write in and give us some ideas for a show, because obviously we listen, just go to treeofgeek.com
treeofgeek.com.
and hit the contact us and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you, and we will absolutely reply to you. Steve, the only reason I don't email back is because I talk to you fairly often.
Word.
So I feel like that counts. I acknowledge
Oh, it definitely counts. For sure. Yeah, and if you don't want to go to the treeofgeek.com, which is super easy, we are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to get a little bit of a presence there. I've been a little lacking lately, been a little bit busy. I'll get better.
Well, we have like 7 followers on YouTube now.
Man.
Actually, a buddy of mine
Blazing.
said that he was able to catch up because we're on YouTube. He has access to YouTube when he's working, but not all the other stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to ask questions. Good, listen to us.
Hey, man, we got to branch out. You know, that's why we're everywhere. We're planting trees everywhere.
So please,
like Johnny Appleseed over here.
If you hit up any of these social medias, make sure you like, subscribe,
5-star review,
upvote, whatever,
or -5, whatever you want.
Whatever it is, give us a shout out, throw in a comment, make us look good, share it with your friends, help us grow, people.
It's all about that growing pains. That's what we're in right now, but we're going to go big and strong.
I mean, we're like 3 months into this, and we're not rich and famous, popular people yet. I don't get it.
No, but I'm happy.
I am too.
It's about happiness, right?
I love
Gotta
doing
be happy.
this.
Gotta be happy.
I was trying to write some notes for today's episode last night, and my wife kept playing a game with me on the phone, and she's like, "Hey, it's your turn." So I take a turn, and then I go back to "Hey, it's your turn."
You guys playing that Monopoly? Is that what you're doing?
No, on iPhone
Wordle?
you can download a plug-in app for the texting where you can play pull and stuff back and forth.
All right.
It's pretty neat. I finally just put my computer down. I'm like, all right, let's play.
I stopped playing games with Emily because she wins.
Yeah,
She's like, let's play some Scrabble, man.
She gets mad at me too.
Man. All right, so we got to get this going. We got to get this rolling. And how do we get this going? We roll a D20, homie. So as usual, you get to roll first. You can roll that same 14 or 16, whatever it is, every other time.
All right. Do I get a proficiency bonus or anything?
No handicaps today, buddy.
All right, here we go.
What do you got?
11.
11. Man, okay, all right.
Come on, 10.
All right, Tom Cruise and your Scientology, help me out here. That one's for you, Emily. Here we go. 18. What do you know of that? My theta radiation levels are...
I'm not going to lie. I've had really good luck with the rolls. Every time we do it,
you gotta invoke the right stuff, man.
Tom Cruise?
Well, he was in the right stuff. No, that was an astronaut movie. Oh no, but he was in Top Gun, and that's all that matters. Yeah, I only say these things as Emily, my fiance. I was like, "Yo, give me some ideas here. What do you think?" And she's like, "Anything with Tom Cruise in it. Just stop it all right now." And I said no. She also said another series that might show up here, and I was very upset, but that's okay. Even I talked to my buddy. Hey, shout out to Ryan. If you finally listen to the podcast out there in Arizona, I did take some of your ideas into consideration. Doesn't mean they're going to be here, but I did.
So we're going to do this similar to how we did the Spider-Man rankings. We'll kind of go back and forth.
Ping pong.
If I have one that he just mentioned, we'll dive into that conversation. When we're done, I'll say one and vice versa. So it's not going to be like a list series. Sorry to all you list fanatics. We're trying to get away from that. But we are going to have a little bit of structure here.
There'll be numbers involved. I got numbers.
All right. So let's do this. What is your... Oh, I can't say first one. What is at the top of your page?
Okay, well, these are in no particular order.
Wait, how many pages do you have?
Well, I mean, it's 16 or 14 font. 3? No, 2.25. 3 1/4. 3 1/4. But I mean, we'll get through these.
I'm just curious. I'm up to 5.
I know that guy's like, yeah, rip through them. Let's go. So here we're gonna go, and I'm gonna say, stop making Godzilla movies.
I'm sorry, Silas, think of that one.
But listen, there's like 38-ish Godzilla movies out there. Okay.
Does Silas still watch those all the time?
I mean, he says he likes them. I don't know if he watches them.
Silas is our buddy John that we talk about a lot. It's his youngest kid. For a while, he was obsessed with Godzilla.
He took like a giant Godzilla to the lake with us. Like it was like a
stuffed animal.
No, it was like a 2.5 foot tall action figure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like hard plastic. Yeah, he took it. And that was a couple years back. He's too busy with band now. Band. Gotta do that band. He's good at the cymbal thing that he pulls. Well, they're not cymbals. He's got the big long things. He ting 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 ting.
The
That's what he does in the band.
chimes.
Yeah, like massive chimes. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. But anyway,
So
Godzilla.
Godzilla. Why? What's your problem with Godzilla? I mean,
Well, I'm not a fan of the movies. I kind of like the 1998 movie, but it's kind of like more of a Jurassic Park movie. It's more of a dinosaur type thing.
but help me out here. Which one was that?
Matthew Broderick and Godzilla's a girl,
Is
and
that where it had the big chin and there was
yeah,
eggs
the
under
P
New
Diddy
York?
P Diddy did the soundtrack for
See, that's the one I hated the most.
it. Yeah, my buddy's gonna be real mad because he's like huge into Godzilla too. Sorry, Ryan. I mean, there's so many of them. I have trouble already watching dubbed movies. I tried to even watch the newest ones. I watched the first one. I don't know. It was just like boring. They're just all boring to me. Boring, boring, boring. I mean, what more do you need to say after 38 movies? You already brought in all of his villains and whatnot, all of his bad guys, Mothra, and the one with the three heads, which I used to have that action figure as a little kid, and that was pretty cool. They look cool, but they're just boring. It's a big dude in a zip up suit. Now it just has bad CGI. It's
There,
got boring.
there was a really cool fan theory I read once that Godzilla was actually one of the, what do they call it, the kaijus from
Well, that's what they're
Pacific
doing.
Rim.
That's what they're doing, like with him now or something. I
Well,
thought.
they were trying to tie the two franchises together,
Oh
saying
my
that
goodness.
Godzilla was the first kaiju to come through, and that all the other ones are just following his footsteps.
Well,
Type of thing.
hopefully they'll just fall back into the center of the earth and never come back. That's my opinion on that.
I did like that first movie.
I mean, let's give King Kong a little bit more, or I'm over it. I'm over the cartoons. I'm over it all.
Not big on giant animals, huh?
No, I like King Kong.
Clifford.
Clifford, the
Big-
red dog,
big
the
red
big
dog?
red dog. Yeah, I mean it's okay. I'm not 3 anymore.
All right. Well, I will say I did not have Godzilla on my my list. So.
Didn't you? Well, what do you got? What do you got? Toss it.
All right. The very first one I wrote down was just at the top of my head because I'm still waiting on my wife to watch the movie with. Is the Indiana Jones series?
Dun 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 dun. There you go, Emily. Stop Indiana Joneses. Sorry.
Now I know what you're gonna say. They are stopping it. That this was the last one, and
As far as Harrison Ford is concerned, he said
Yes,
he
yes.
is done. Now, when the studio wants to make more money,
But
we'll
now-
see. But he's done.
so here's my big issue with it: is the original films were this classic, unique, like experience that had a special place in everybody's hearts because it was just this. You were seeing things that you never saw before. And now you have what's that movie with Tom Holland? It's based on a game.
Uncharted.
Uncharted. You have Tomb Raider.
Emily said Tomb Raider.
Okay. But it was a very new idea of this school teacher also being basically an undercover action star. It was just this exciting, like, I don't even know how to
I'm so
explain it.
disappointed.
I
in you
remember
right now.
watching those movies as a kid, and I remember being ridiculously excited when the fourth one was coming out. And then I went to see it, and I left hating Shia LaBeouf so much because I felt he completely ruined that movie. And the fact that it ended in real aliens, like, I'm sorry, I don't. If you believe in aliens, that's great. I'm still up in the air on it, but the movies are supposed to be about like old archaeological finds that have some type of slight mysticism, not freaking aliens.
The first one was the Ark of the Covenant. What's more alien and mysterious than that?
That was more religious.
Mysterious than that?
And then the fifth one, I don't know a ton about it because, like I said, I'm still waiting for my wife to see it. But I have
I
heard,
enjoyed it.
I have heard enough rumors. I don't know. Is it too new to do any type of spoilers?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it because you're sitting here.
No, fair enough. I did hear that there's something involving like the Dial of Destiny. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
That it's supposed to be something with time travel, and in my opinion, you're getting really into like the extreme sci-fi side of things. And I'm sorry, I don't want to see any more. I feel like they're ruining.
You're
the
milk toast. That's what you are.
I'm
You are
milk
fried
toast.
up milk
What?
toast. You don't like adventure.
Milk.
Like, okay, we're
wait,
going to do adventure. We're going to do one type of adventure in jungles, and we're going to go for
Wait, fried up
Golden
milk
Idol.
toast is just French toast.
Well, there you go.
Milk
That's
and
what
eggs.
yeah, without the cinnamon. That's right. You're plain toast with some fried eggs on it.
I feel like
completely
each
disagree.
new one that comes out, when you give it that name, it comes with a certain level of expectation. And the new ones they aren't, and I don't think they could ever hit that
Have you ever
expectation.
seen the old score for the second one? Like how bad it bombed and like didn't do well with the critics.
Well, so
And
funny
it's like
enough,
one of the best like reviewed ones as fans is concerned.
you're talking about Temple of Doom.
Yeah, Kalima.
My understanding
brains.
was that both Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were both going through divorces at that time, And so
Good thing
like
somebody found a wife.
their darkness was coming out in that movie. I didn't know this until later, but apparently there's an unedited version that wasn't shown on, like, because we all saw the one on TV and stuff. There was an original version like where you actually saw like the hole as he pulls the heart out, and
That would have been sick. That would have been
but the one
sick.
that we all saw on TV, it was like cameras cut, so it looks like it was just like pulled out mystically. And
Yeah. All right. So you don't like Indiana Jones movies.
no, no,
I
no.
like
Whoa,
them.
whoa! I
Well,
love
yeah,
Indiana
but you want them
Jones
to
movies.
stop. You don't love them enough to continue. I
I
want another one.
I love them enough to respect them.
I respect every one of them. I like every single entry. They all got issues. They all got boring parts in them. But hey, to each their own, I suppose. Let us know if you guys agree out there, or if, who's right here. All right.
They're going to be writing a lot of who's rights. All right, go ahead.
All right. Let's piss off some gearheads right here.
Oh, I know where you're going with
if
this.
you listen, for all you guys out there who dream about jumping tanks from one bridge to another and going to space, whatever, live your dream. But in the meantime, stop making Fast and Furious movies. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's 11 of them. They're gonna make 12 of them.
There's a couple shorts.
I mean, it started off as a really cool car movie. Ranger Pink slips over.
Yes and no. I say
I almost
that.
had you. You never had me.
I-
You never
I-
had your car.
See, I say it because when I movie came out, well, on DVD, anyways, I was living at a buddy's house, and he was really into cars. I was really into cars, and we would sit there picking apart the movie. The thing that I remember the most is when, in the very first one, the very beginning, Brian's driving his Eclipse, and he spins out. First of all, that model Eclipse was a front-wheel drive vehicle, and
It's modified.
you can't say out there, "Oh no, it was
Movie
they made
physics,
all-wheel
different movie
drive."
physics.
They did make all-wheel drive, but when they pop the hood later,
This is a different universe,
it's a
man.
420A engine, which was the basic non-turboed engine. And when he's spinning out, you can see the reverse lights. He's doing reverse donuts.
I'm not telling you you're wrong.
I
But
know
what
I'm
I
right.
am saying is when we live in the age of Marvel multiverses, okay, whenever I see something crazy happen in a movie or somebody goes, how did that happen? I'm like, movie physics. That universe is different. Gravity's different. Inertia, all that. Those
Rear
cars
wheel-
were built different.
You're talking a rear-wheel drive Eclipse. Okay.
Yeah, that's how Spillner did it. Brian Spillner. What are you, a serial killer? Is that what you are? The first one's awesome. I love them. But listen,
Oh, yeah.
we got bulletproof skin
What?
in those movies now. The Hobbs and Shaw movie, the Idris Elba, like his character had like bulletproof. I didn't. Now listen, I didn't watch it because I saw the trailer and like bullets were bouncing off the guy.
I
was like, I'm gonna go watch an X-Men movie or go watch Avengers if
Yeah.
I want that. I don't
I-
need that in a Fast and Furious. And then they go to space. What are you doing?
See, I didn't know that. I've seen up through,
Okay,
I think,
okay.
number 6. and I
Hellraisers went
quit.
to space. Leprechaun went to space and the Hood twice. Is that where we're at now? Is that
Jason
what we're
X.
doing? Yeah, he went to space. Sure, Jason X. Yeah.
That movie was awful.
I'll go over my rankings one day. Yeah. So yeah, stop making them. Yank the keys. You're fucking done. Just be over with it.
Yep. See, it's like what started as a really cool car movie with like a twist turned into like a super spy meets superhero.
All I
thing.
know is at the end of the day, it's about family.
Yeah, that's true. And what I really didn't like was that
I'm silly
there
tonight,
was no
guys.
real stakes in it anymore. Because anyone who died in a previous movie was able to just suddenly come back.
Yeah.
And
I love the retroactive. Let's bring Han back.
like,
Let's do a whole scene of how he
Tokyo
didn't really
Drift.
die.
Tokyo Drift actually happens later. But spoiler here, he planned it and he escapes it anyways. Because it was something with Hobbs was involved. I read a synopsis because I have no intention of watching the movies.
Yeah, I stopped. I haven't watched the last two. I'm not
But it
gonna.
was just
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say I never will. This isn't James Bond.
it's like comic books. No one ever dies for real most of the time. And I feel like that's the same idea as like they kept bringing people back, like old characters that left and were gone for 8 movies. Hey, suddenly came back, suddenly relevant.
Popularity, man. Popularity.
Like I don't know. I was done with it. 10 movies, 11 movies, and a couple of shorts. And I mean, let's not skip the elephant in the room here. Paul Walker. I mean, I appreciate what they're doing with his brother and like superimposing or AI-ing his face on his brother, but at the same time, like the man is gone. Let him rest.
I agree, man. Put that shit in the junkyard. We're done. Crush it up.
Let the family rest.
All right, what do you got? It's your turn.
All right, moving on. I gotta scroll back up to the top of my list.
I wonder if we're gonna have anything the same. Well, kind of separate here.
Well, we just had that one the same.
Oh, that was on your list?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
I guess I should pay attention. I'm a hack and a fraud.
Next on my list is the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yo ho ho. Hey,
Now, I know we
did we
said
just do a Pirates episode?
we did in a previous episode. I even said I haven't seen them all. I saw the first, I think, three.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way: if you've only seen a couple of a franchise, and you're like, just be done with these already, then that just then I already understand how much you just are like you
Yeah,
checked out.
yeah. I just feel like the quality of each movie declined, and I can say that because I did my research, and according to IMDb, each movie got a lower score than the last one as they came out. So they
I can believe
literally
that.
got progressively worse.
I like the trilogy. I do. I like the first trilogy. I was disappointed in the last one. I'm not a huge Johnny Depp guy, so I'll put that right out front. Nothing to do with any of the new stuff that has happened in his life. I just, as a kid, I didn't like 21 Jump Street. I wasn't a huge Edward Scissorhands fan. I'm just not. He's just never been my guy.
All right,
You know. I'm
you're
not
more of
saying I
a
had.
Gary Oldman guy.
Oh, Gary Oldman's amazing, man. Oh, ooh.
For the longest time, I always
Leon,
got them
man.
confused.
The professional Leon.
For some
So
reason,
great in
I
that movie.
always got them confused for the longest time, and I think it's just because they can both become a totally new character. Like they're so good at that.
Gary Oldman, just one of the all-time greats ever. Um,
Anyways, sorry.
Anywho, so when the fourth one comes out, I think on Stranger Tides, Ian McShane's in there. I'm a huge Ian McShane fan, playing Blackbeard. I didn't think the movie overall was that bad. It's just every single part that had Johnny Depp in it, I just wanted it to stop.
So,
I
see,
think he
that was
killed it
another
for
one of
me.
my issues was like Johnny Depp started as this fun, unpredictable Jack Sparrow that
But you burnt all the rum.
you didn't know what was going to happen next. You didn't know where he was going to pop up. Like in the second one, he's the leader of the tribe, and then finds out he's going to be eaten. But as the series goes on, he went from being the comic relief in an otherwise serious movie to just being an almost annoying character that you already know what he's going to do. He's so unpredictable, he's completely predictable.
I think I agree with that. Process process that through my brain if I can learn how to talk. But yeah, I
It's
think I'd agree with that.
basically if
I like
you
this crew better than him.
well, it's basically think of the one thing that you don't think he would do, that's what he's going to do. In my opinion, his character just started to get kind of over the top annoying.
I agree.
No offense to him as an actor. He's a great actor. But again, I also said in the last episode or the pirate episode, I'm not the biggest fan of pirate franchises. So someone might, get
We're not all
offended. But
swashbucklers. We're not all Buccaneer fans, and that's okay.
so
Yeah.
5 movies in, and please stop. Because I read that they're looking to make a sixth. Because
Yeah, yeah.
the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard court case
Yeah,
thing,
Disney's
there's
trying to make some more
something with
money.
there's something with
Yeah.
him maybe not being in it or whatever
I
because of
hope.
that.
I hope.
I hope they just don't make it. Just scratch it.
I I gotta get to the spiel at the end. I'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
I'm gonna save some thoughts.
I think we might have the same thought. All right, go ahead.
Okay, let's really make some people angry here. Let's stop, please, making Batman slash Joker slash Bat Family movies. Now, I like Batman. Batman in the comics, he's cool. I do agree with what Peacemaker said, though. Yeah.
We will not be playing that audio clip.
No, we won't.
It's like episode 4, I think. Go watch it
yeah.
yourself.
Somebody compares Peacemaker to Batman and says, "Why can't you be good like Batman?"
Because Batman's a...
Yeah, he lets them know why.
So I would like to go ahead and roll this in with one on my list. The
Which is
overall DCEU, the DC Extended Universe.
okay. Well, I mean, sort of, kind of. My thoughts, my feelings, I guess.
Just because a lot of what's in there is Batman related in some way, but it's also segues into the Batman versus Superman.
It's not my fault that they only have like 5 characters to ever draw from. If you're in the main Justice League at the beginning, that's all they're ever gonna make. Like I know that James Gunn's got a job to do. He's got to remake the thing. He's getting a paycheck, but like now we're doing a musical. Okay.
Whoa,
First off, we had
what?
to do the Joker by himself. That wasn't part of the Justice League Zack Snyder verse, right? And now the next one coming out.
You mean Jared Leto's?
No, that was with Harley Quinn. I'm talking about what's his name?
Oh,
Man, the
Joaquin
guy from the
Phoenix.
Signs, Joaquin Phoenix. So now you're bringing in Lady Gaga. It's going to be a musical because that's where we're at now. We need a Joker musical. So she's playing Harley Quinn. They're gonna no 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 do more dance moves, whatever. And then you got Robert Pattinson, which I'm not like I've seen him in some things. He's not a bad actor. I hated that movie. I'm one of the 15 people in this world that hated that movie.
So I really like
That is not my Batman.
I like that they gave him more of the detective style because that is that's your classic Batman. He was more of a detective. But
He
they
sat around in a room crying with pictures around him on the floor like he was Joker. Like, I don't know.
I do that.
Well, you're not a superhero. You
No,
are in my heart. I'm sorry. I apologize. You are. I
see,
don't know.
I
I
like
don't
the
like it.
detective aspect that they added to that movie. I just didn't like him as the joke or as Batman. He didn't click for me. And I know that is going to make a lot of people mad because a lot of people I know really liked him. They
Well, it
thought he
was
was
highly
amazing.
rated. There's a couple polls been done, and it like ranks up there with the original Batman. Some people think it's better.
I did like his Batmobile. It was more realistic than Michael Keaton's with the big jet engine on the back, but it wasn't remotely comic book accurate, which annoyed
Yeah.
me too.
I mean, I like some of the movies. I'm not saying I don't listen. Some of these things that I want to stop. It doesn't mean that I don't like the movies
Right,
or
absolutely.
some of them in the series. It's just I don't want another one. Now we're going to get the Brave and the Bold. We're going to bring in another Robin. We're going to, and it's just so fresh. And I know the studio's got to make money, the company's got to make money, but man, just like you have so many other characters. Marvel and DC have thousands of characters apiece. Like there's other people you can be making movies and TV shows about. Like really can. And I'm tired of seeing the
Yeah.
same. They're not.
Fancastomania.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Let's get some Squadron Supreme, man. Let's do it.
I want some deep cut Green Lantern.
Yeah, let's get a good Green Lantern movie. I don't want the DCEU to stop or whatever they're going to be calling it. But like this, I keep seeing these message boards just reboot it about every comic book movie. Just reboot it. Just stop at Marvel needs to reboot. DC needs to reboot. Oh my lord, man. I think everything just needs to calm
So
down.
I
Woosah.
think it's the same problem that the DCU and the MCU have in common with what I just said about Indiana Jones. The expectations have been met, so they're all so high we will
You're not
never
going to
be
get
satisfied.
Endgame every time.
It's like Half-Life, the video games. Everyone raves about Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, Black
Never
Mesa.
played.
I can't wait for Half-Life 3 that they never released. And the running joke is always that, oh well, they're going to do it this year. If they ever actually released it, it would be the biggest flop of all time because expectations are so ridiculously high, it'll never be met.
Right. I agree with that. I
I
agree with
stand
that.
by that firm.
Yeah.
And I will get into it a little bit later about some other movies, but I completely agree
Yeah.
with you.
Stop making Batman movies, man.
I love Batman. He's one of the ones I grew up with, but
I grew up with like the weird cartoony one on, with Adam
well,
West.
I mean, yeah,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
like Adam West, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
I saw the Val Kilmer one open weekend, man. Had Jim Carrey in it. I was like, I'm sold. Let's do this. I love that. I had the
I mean,
soundtrack.
nothing will ever beat George Clooney's bat nipples. I'm sorry.
Joel Schumacher, man.
Why did they even put them on the suit?
Oh, I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm not. Gonna give me a headache. Just yeah.
So, segueing that, we'll go right into mine, the DCEU, the Extended Universe. They've had so many repeated failures at the box office.
Well, I don't think box office numbers always equate whether a movie is good or not, but it definitely is a metric that the studios
Okay,
are following
let's look
for
at
sure.
this way. More research. IMDb. Their highest movie was a 7.9 out of 10.
Which one was that?
Take a guess.
Dark Knight.
No.
Or is this
No.
not part of that? Which I don't know.
No, this is
See, that's the thing with DC. Like, what matters and what doesn't?
Yeah.
What's part of it and what's not?
No, it was actually the Justice League, but the Snyder cut. The
That was a good
5-hour
cut. That
Snyder.
was a
It
good
was
cut.
great. I loved it. I
Yeah.
thought it was very well done. It answered a lot of questions, and the whole scene towards the end with the Flash that they really elaborated on was just fantastic.
Steppenwolf looked a lot better.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
So get on YouTube and look up side by side of Justice League versus the
Yeah, I've
Snyder
seen
cut.
it. Yeah,
It's insane. And then the lowest rated one was a 5.4.
what was that one?
Wonder Woman 1984.
Good potential in that movie, but
Oh yeah, great
I was
potential.
hyped up because of when it was going to be in the timeline. I was like, all right, yeah.
The biggest thing I'm wondering is, do you think James Gunn will basically become the Kevin Feige of DC? Because they are changing it from DCEU to just the DCU. So they are doing a full reboot. They are recasting. I sent you that thing the other day.
But yeah, Peacemaker's still going to be there.
Peacemaker will still be there.
And
I
James
think they
Gunn's
said
wife.
Blue Beetle will still be there.
Yeah. Well,
And
that kid deserves another shot. It's like some of those
Yeah.
movies are like it's not their fault that they came in right at the end of this.
yeah, no,
Like, he
absolutely.
came in as the car was wrecking
And
against the wall.
I guess the Flash will be there as canon, the movie. But as I said to you, from everything I read, Ezra Miller's been officially fired for who knows what. I don't even want to get into it. We don't need to get into it.
Doesn't matter, bud.
But he's
See ya.
gone. So you know what I'm going to say next. Hashtag Grant Gustin is the Flash. I'm telling you. I just saw an
Makes
interview
sense.
the other day where they asked him like, if he would ever want to go on it or was he upset about not getting it, and Ezra did, back when he said no, but he would absolutely do it if he was offered.
You
Even
know,
though he just did it for 10 years, he would still do it, and that's because he's the real freaking
well,
Flash,
now that
people.
they've canceled Heels, you bastards, they only got 2 seasons. My wrestling show. Stephen Amell can come back and be Green Arrow somewhere.
Dude, Stephen Amell started that whole what they call it, the Arrowverse.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
first season was good.
of Arrow.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
liked
rip
it.
off Batman, but it was good.
Well, back then you're like, oh, we can't show Batman. We can't talk about
Oh yeah, you're
Superman.
right. The
And
Batman rights were
we're gonna
owned.
do like a whole entire Superman series, and in the last episode, you're gonna see him in the distance.
What
Yeah,
what really
whatever.
pissed me off was Iron Fist.
Smallville.
Netflix's Iron Fist for Marvel was a rip off of Green Arrow.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I mean, like,
listen, back in the day, these characters didn't have a lot of like they were competing. These companies were,
oh
But
yeah.
why do you think Squadron Supreme was
Hey,
there, man?
future
Yeah.
episode,
Hey,
we'll compare. We'll figure out which one is the name brand and which one is the off brand.
right? Is that Timu? Is it Wish? I mean, what are we on now? Which one's
Yeah,
Kmart? That's still
oh,
relevant. All right. Anyway, are we
Sentry
anything
versus
else?
Superman. I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm giving it to the
Which I
Kryptonian, but
I
that's
did
me.
read a rumor that Sentry is making his way into the MCU.
There's a lot of rumors out there, man.
So you did Batman, I did DC. We're back to you.
Okay, well, I heard this joke one time that Chuck Norris, he was driving. He's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he stops at this truck stop. Bathrooms are out of order. So he goes over to this rig. He's like, I'm Chuck Norris. I can piss wherever I want. Pisses on the tire. Well, long story short, that truck is now Optimus Prime. Be that
Ah,
as it may, stop making Transformers movies. Please, for the love of Pete here. Like, I
okay.
mean, I know we got some, Megan Fox got a big bump from that. We got our Shia LaBeouf, for better or worse. There's some good things there. I
Well,
mean,
we
the
have that one
CGI
in
back in the day
common.
was awesome,
We do have that one
but
in common.
I mean, it
Seven
just works better as a
movies.
cartoon.
There are 7 movies.
7 movies. Oh, I wrote down 8.
Maybe I didn't
7.
count the Beast, the Rise of the Animal
I
one.
don't know, but
Which, you know what, that didn't annoy me because I grew up watching Beast Wars, which was the
oh, that's the
animated.
CGI in that.
Oh, it
Oh
was
my
so bad,
lord.
so bad. But
Oh,
I loved it, and I was
because it
actually
works better.
excited for this one,
If you
and they
remember,
butchered it.
I had talked earlier why we didn't put the Spider-Man across the universe movies because you can do better things in animation the way you can do in live action. And I'm
Yep.
glad that Michael Bay got that money and he got to we get the lens flares and all that. And I like The Island, by the way, to all you guys that hate that movie. But it's run its course. It's over. I mean, it's done.
I mean,
It,
I think maybe the first 2, maybe even 3 movies were actually pretty. I'm not gonna say good, but they were
no,
fun.
okay. We brought in King Arthur. What
Yeah.
is King Arthur doing in a Transformers movie? You finally get Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
You're gonna get Hannibal Lecter, man, a legend, one of the best actors ever.
And they waste
Odin,
them.
and you're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do some medieval, really Optimus Prime, back in the day, and what? Like, shut up,
Yep.
shut up. This is
Yeah.
horrible.
I mean, I think the first 2 or 3 were fun. I mean, even though they had some poor
It was pretty
dialogue.
much just Shia LaBeouf running and yelling
Well,
Optimus Prime.
the problem, yeah, the
Optimus.
problem is I honestly don't remember the plot. Like, so I do, but I don't. Like, I was thinking, I even have it written down here. It says all of the movies follow the same basic plot structure, and I felt like they all blurred together. I cannot recall the entire plot of a single movie.
Hugo Weaving was in there. That's all I know.
I don't even know where.
What?
Where was Elrond?
He was Galvatron before he was Galvatron. He was the main bad guy that Optimus hates. See,
Megatron?
yeah, Megatron.
I,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this honestly. When the first movie came out, I saw it probably 5 or 6 times in theaters in a single week.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it was a pretty big hit for me. I enjoyed it a lot. I've
It
watched it
had its
probably over 20
flaws,
times.
but it was amazing. It was very one of a kind. We didn't have anything quite like that.
I remember back then, me and my buddy in high school would always be discussing Unicron versus Galactus. Like, who could win this, man? Like, they're just eating planets. They're cosmic beings. Like, let's throw that down the gauntlet. And I don't know. I didn't watch the last one, so I don't know if Unicron ever makes an appearance. But hopefully, they just.
I won't
But
give anything away, but
well, no, I don't care. I'm not gonna.
kind of. It it,
Uh,
it reminds
did
me
they
a
do like? Did
lot.
they pull like a Galactus from Fantastic Four?
It reminds me more of I don't even know what it was. The big cloud of fear or whatever in Green Lantern. like coming through space.
That's not what Unicron is, man. He's a giant robot head,
Well, no,
and he's like a
they
celestial.
did it as a giant machine, but they also did it as like a he's coming into our world. He's coming through a portal. Oh, we got to close the portal.
I never saw that plot before.
Yeah, I think
Rip Tony Stark. I don't know where you guys are listening to the podcast at this time, but we just hit the anniversary of the death of Tony Stark when he said, "I am Iron Man.
yesterday,
I am inevitable."
October 18th, 2023, I believe, was the actual date in the movie of 5 years later after the blip.
Yep.
So
Thank you, Tony,
rest in
for all
peace,
your
man.
sacrifice.
Yeah. So Transformers. Another thing I'm really annoyed about was in the later ones, the CGI started to feel rough.
Yeah. Well, I think that probably bleeds into the whole issue that a lot of
Well, I think
animators have had lately.
yes, I even wrote it down. Black Panther, the same as Ant-Man, they were pulled in so many directions at once that it got sloppy. And it wasn't their fault. It was time constraints. They didn't have the
Yeah.
money or the budget to do it. Like,
Yeah, these guys are pushed to their limits.
oh, absolutely.
I know. Listen, I'm not shitting on like every single person that's ever been in touch of these movies because I mean these people are worked to the bone. But this is more aimed at like the studio. Hey Fox, hey Sony, hey Marvel, hey DC. Whoever it may be, knock it off.
And I will say this. One of the things I hated the absolute most about the newest Transformers, the voice of one of the main characters was Pete Davis
Pete Davis.
from Saturday Night Live.
Pete Davidson?
Sure.
What? You hate Pete
I
Davidson?
don't like him at all. His voice is annoying. His acting is annoying. I don't like him. He gets these incredibly attractive girlfriends, and I don't know how. Look at the man.
He's a slayer, man.
Like,
That dude's slaying.
I
He's
just
tall, dark, and well, he's not dark. I mean,
he's tall, tan, and
he's funny. Chicks dig a funny guy.
well,
man.
we just got
How do you think I got
canceled.
Emily, man? I think these looks got Emily. Shit, man. She's like, he ain't funny.
All right.
All right. It's you.
Moving
right?
on to a movie that's going to make you mad.
Yeah, maybe.
They need to stop making the Halloween movies. Now,
well, now
I will say the
got some
most
news,
recent
buddy.
one was
some
called
news.
Halloween Ends. It's supposed to be the end.
Hey, that movie sucks.
It's supposed to be the end.
Halloween Kills is all right.
So technically, they're
The
not
David
making
Gordon
any
Green
more.
trilogy's done.
Well, the whole thing should be done. And I say that because this is the 13th movie, and that's the perfect way for them to end this.
Ah, man. They just got some movie rights taken care of with some TV studio as of last week.
See,
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Bloody
like.
Disgusting, for breaking that news. But yeah, they're
Did
going
you
to
like
move
the
into
Rob
the
Zombie
TV.
ones?
I do. It's sort of. I
See,
didn't
I
like
didn't
part
like it.
2. I'm not. Listen, I can give you the ranking of the Halloween movies, and they are not at the top. They are not at the top. They're in the lower
Are they
lower
like the
half.
Venoms?
Oh, they're better than Venom. Get
Okay.
out of here, man. I'll probably watch. Yeah, I would definitely watch Rob Zombie 2 before I'd watch Venom 2 for sure.
Well, my problem though is like they're very predictable after a while.
Well, they're a slasher.
Yeah,
That's what I love
they follow
about
the
it.
same pattern. Hey, I bet you Michael dies at the end of this one. Oh, there he goes. He'll be back.
Hey, Buster Rhymes might come back. You never know. And that movie wasn't very good either.
No,
I
that
mean,
was
now
horrible.
listen, the whole entire series as a whole is probably top to bottom my favorite horror series. But there's some ones that are a little iffy there. Part 5. I'm looking at you.
What about Halloween number 3?
Season of the Witch.
Yep, it has
I mean, it's
nothing
fine
to
on
do,
its own, but
nothing to do with Michael Myers at all.
well, he's on a TV in it.
Well, yeah, but I remember watching that one and thinking like, okay, he's gonna show up now. Okay, he's gonna show up now. I didn't know he wasn't in it.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't.
I thought that
Why
the
do you
whole
think they went right
series was
back?
based on him.
The Akkads went right back. They're like, okay, we screwed up here. Yeah.
What were they trying to do? Like, hey, let's branch out. No, let's go back.
They wanted to do it like a now what's the term here? Like anthology series.
Mm.
They were hoping that would be successful. Then they do some other tale
So
about
they were trying
happens
to do
around
like
Halloween.
a big universe that was all tied together in some way.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, because when the guys at the bar, Tom Atkins' characters at the bar, you see Michael Myers up on a TV at the bar.
So it's the HCU, the Halloween Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, like the movies on there. But I mean, hey, it doesn't anger me. There's a lot of people that want them to end. I mean, I think they should stop bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis. What bugs me is like the whole entire timeline is not connected at all. They've jumped around all the
Yeah.
way up to H2O. Like this one ignores them all. I don't know. It's a whole spiel. But if you don't want to see any more, that's fine. I'll watch them. I'll get me some more Michael Myers and some more Jasons. Bring back Freddy, man. He's been gone a long time. Not that crappy remake either. That was shit.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that guy's still alive.
Yeah. Somebody threw out to me, stop making Scream movies. That's what my mother said. Stop making Scream movies. I was like, what? Come on, man.
They're on what, 8?
Stu Macher's got to come back before they stop. They're saying he's coming back.
He's dead.
Apparently, he's been locked away. We went through this. So there it goes. So let's move on to some chimps, some
Chimps?
orangutans. some apes. 9 Planet of the Apes movies.
9,
9, all the way
not
from Charlton
including
Heston all the way up till today.
not including the originals.
No, that's including the original. There's 9 of them.
Wow. That's,
Yeah. Now, granted, if it wasn't for Planet of the Apes, Spaceballs would have been missing a couple good jokes.
well,
Spaceballs
of
is
course.
amazing. I mean, Andy Serkis did great stuff in there.
Well, Andy Serkis is amazing in anything he touches.
I enjoyed the
Really
Marky
is.
Mark reboot. I thought it was fun. I
I
did.
it was
Michael
all right.
Clark Duncan was cool. I mean, it was definitely a product of its
I mean, I didn't
time.
know apes could jump like the Hulk.
Apes are nuts, man. They go for the hot spots real quick when they're
I mean,
trying to
they'll
rip
rip
you
your
apart.
face off. I know that.
Yeah, and other parts, man. I just think we've ran the course of the basic plot that monkeys and apes and orangutans and other primates are super smart now for whatever the reason. They either want their own part of the earth or they want the entire earth. And humans are horrible, but yet they're going to evolve and do the same things that we did. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm over it. I think
Well, it was really cool seeing the prequels. I guess like how they got to ruling it, like how was like the
more
science
James Franco
experiments
stuff.
and yeah, James Franco.
It always
But
comes back to old Jamie Franco.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you completely.
I didn't watch the last 2. I was just so bored.
Yep.
I watched the James Franco one, and then I was like, "Oh, all right, this isn't too bad." Because, like I said, I like the Marky Mark one, but I was like, "They're redoing it, no big deal." So then I watched like a half of the very next one, and I was like, and at the same time, they were doing another big series that's going to come up where they were trying to reboot things and timelines, and I was just so bored. I fell asleep. I did finish it begrudgingly, but I haven't watched any since.
Wow.
No more. I don't want any apes swinging from this tree.
You know, it'd be really interesting taking the apes from Planet of the Apes and putting them into my next choice,
What's that choice?
Saw.
I don't even want to talk to you,
You're
man.
looking
Why
at
are we
me
even doing a
with
podcast
such
together?
disappointment.
I'm sure I'm going to understand all of your frustrations.
Maybe. So Saw, there are 10 movies, maybe more. I think it was 10.
Either just drop number 10 or number 11. I don't know.
Yeah. I know they did Jigsaw, stuff like that.
Chris Rock.
The first time I watched it, it's funny actually. My buddy invited me over and said, "Hey, do you want to come over and watch Saw?" And I said, "Yeah, sure."
Like Bob Vila, you guys going to watch Saw make a house?
Well, I didn't know I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he said Saul, Saul, and I'm like,
Like Better Call Saul?
well, no, like I knew that he came from a religious background. I thought it was like some, I don't
The
know.
Prophets?
Yeah, like I didn't know what to expect, and I get there
Apostles?
and
Saul? Was he an apostle? I don't know. I'm not part of all that,
Saul
but
it turned into Paul, one of the. Anyways, um, he puts it on, and all of a sudden it opens up in a bathroom, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what is this? And we watched it, and I will say
the chicks never came. The chicks
with
never came.
I'll say without a doubt that was one of my favorite movies. I thought it was amazing. The first Saw, it had everything. Like it took place in pretty much one spot.
Dude, it took the festivals that it went to by storm.
Well, it had a complete psychological like aspect to it. Like everything you thought was proven wrong by the end. However, he can vouch for me. Halfway through the movie, I said, "I bet the guy on the floor is the one in charge of all this."
That's a good call. Did you know that the one guy, not the dude from Princess Bride, Carrie Elways, the other guy,
The photographer.
yeah, he wrote that movie
Really?
and
No, I
starred in
didn't
it.
know that.
So basically, he writes this movie.
He
They
let
shop
himself.
it around. They can't get it going anywhere. He puts together like a 15-20 minute short with his friend who directed the movie, and that 20-minute short like finally got a studio go yes. And the 20-minute short was just about the big head and mouth trap that they got.
The reverse bear trap.
Yeah, yeah, like that was all the short was about, and so they get to make their movie. They send it to the festivals. It blows up, and I didn't know that. Shout out to the Halloweenies podcast for letting me know that because I had no idea that was the dude that wrote the movie.
I had
Those guys
no
do their
idea that it
research.
started as a indie festival type thing.
Yeah, well,
That's
a lot of movies go to Cannes and
yeah,
all
but
the other festivals.
most of them that you see anymore are all big studio produced, like right off the bat. I didn't know that one started out so small. It
Yeah.
well, they made it into something,
Oh, it's still going. They're all one
and
big
that's my
movie,
problem.
and they're hard to remember because they're so convoluted. You only remember by how the people die.
Yeah.
They're a gore fest. I don't like
So
them because they're intelligent. I just think they're fun to throw on in the background.
so the first one I thought was an incredibly well thought out movie. It had everything from the psychological to the violence, mostly when they're chasing who they think is Jigsaw, and
Yeah, the movie hasn't aged well,
no.
but
But the second one in the house, okay, it was still pretty interesting. cool twist with the girl being, in on it the whole time. Okay. Yeah, some new ways to die, trying to get the serum, the shot. And then the third one is like, I think when everything just started for me, it went downhill and it just turned into
Well,
how gory can we kill somebody?
you have to remember every single thing that happens in the movies before. They are just littered with Easter eggs and clues that by the time you get to part 6 or 7, you try to remember what happened in 3. Was this person again? Why are they back in? And that's when I started losing interest. That's why I think they're good background movies. Final Destination did it better, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Well,
about
yeah.
wrapping it all together. And they do all wrap together. It's just you don't remember why or even care by the time you find out that part 7 dealt with part 2 or vice versa,
Right.
whatever.
And so my biggest problem with it is that it affects all the other movies in that genre. It desensitizes the viewers. Now, I'm not trying to say like, oh, Grand Theft Auto desensitizes kids to violence. No, you're literally watching in the one movie a woman's rib cage getting ripped wide open, and the reverse bear traps and the laser collar thingy that orange peels the guy's head. Like, you go from that and you go watch, Halloween and
Well,
machetes.
it's a whole different art form.
But that's what I mean. Like the people who watch one usually watch the other. Like they're
Yeah,
into
I
that
watch them all.
that horror slasher type feeling. And from my point of view, I feel like it takes the shock value to the extreme, and it hurts all the other movies
Well,
in
that's
that
why we got
genre.
Rob Zombie's Halloweens,
Well,
because he needed to do some. Yeah, he was part of that whole torture, ultra gore movement of movies. I Spit on Your Grave remake,
well,
or
I think that's just how he lives his life. But that's my take on Saw.
and listen, if they came out with some other big, I mean, like Terrifier's doing some things right now, but if we could get some other big icons, out there, like we don't really have any big horror movie icons right now, so they're keep going back to the well. I don't think they should.
Well, that's
Jason's,
that's the
it,
whole point of this
listen,
this show.
Jason's in hell basically in litigation back and forth in courts. He might have a TV show,
Right.
might not. Michael's going to go like he's the only one that's around right now. But moving on to hey, we'll keep it in the horror genre. Stop making paranormal activities. Stop putting
Ooh.
cameras in your house and having things fly off your bed with some
So
weird footage, and then the camera moves, and I can't pay attention to what's going
I'm
on.
gonna ask this honestly. I only know of two.
There's
How?
6 of them.
Six.
6.
Wow.
6 of them. Now listen, there was a Wayne's parody, okay, that was called The Haunted House. There was 2 of them. Second one was horrible. The first one was hilarious. So if it wasn't for Paranormal Activity, we wouldn't have got that. Now they also did the scary movies, which we wouldn't have had Scream, we wouldn't have had those either. But be that, I mean, it's great that cool things came from it, but I can't sit there and just watch a movie with just I'm watching through a camera about other people just
Well,
and
that's all it
snoring, and
is,
then
right?
something happens.
It's like a baby monitor type thing.
Yeah, like what? And the first one's unique. I get it, but they keep drilling these things over and over. The Blair Witch came out, like oh, now like everything's found footage.
Which
All
came
these
first?
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Deadstream though, that is a good found footage movie. Deadstream is amazing. It's about this podcaster ends up in a haunted house. It's got some comedy. It's got some gore. Great horror movie. Came out last year.
What about Cloverfield?
Cloverfield's cool. Cool. The first one. It doesn't. No replay value though. No
Do
replay
Do
value.
you subscribe to the theory that Cloverfield was a first person view of one of the Godzilla movies?
Listen, I don't subscribe to nothing. I ain't paying nothing. I'm done with
No,
subscriptions. I don't know. I never thought about it.
there was a
I
fan
don't think too
theory
deep
that
about those.
Cloverfield was just someone's camera view of like a Godzilla attack, but with a random creature.
Oh, I mean, makes sense, I suppose. Never really. I don't watch a lot of monster movies. There's 2 parts of horror movies I'm not into, and that's zombies and monsters. Like, not that I hate them all. They're not really my thing.
28 days later.
I mean,
28 weeks later.
listen, I'll just jump to my other one. Stop making zombie movies.
You know they're going to do
There is
28
over
years.
250 zombie movies out there.
Oh, at least.
The Walking Dead killed it. Like it's just, and in fact, I think for me it was dead before. Now I am rediscovering some zombie movies from the '80s. We all knew what I'm doing here, but I just overall stop. Oh no, it's really the humans that are the monsters, not the zombies. Shut up. And why is it that every post-apocalyptic place, all humans are pieces of garbage?
Trying to kill each other.
Like just, yeah, humanity is just horrible. We're just all horrible, all of us. My grandmother was a saint.
So now, does zombies include people that are infested with, say, mushroom spores, and you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, yeah, I get it. But that's based off a video game, and yes, it is a.
If
I
you're
don't
not
know
sure
if
what
that
I'm
is.
talking
I'm
about,
not sure if it's exactly zombies.
I'm
It is
referring
zombie
to
adjacent.
the Last of Us video game. It turned into a really good series.
It was a good first season. However,
It followed the game
if
very
it wouldn't
well.
have been for The Walking Freaking Dead, I don't think we would have got it. And it
Yeah.
is a good game adaptation. Finally, that there's not a whole lot of good game adaptation movies or TV shows out there, and I think there's a lot of star power there. They get some
Mhm.
really good actors in there. Oberon, he's awesome. Oberon Martell, that's his name forever.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Pedro, you don't have real names. You just have your characters as names.
Yep.
That's all we're ever going to refer to you as. The one Nicolas Cage movie he did was glorious.
Oh, what was that? Where he was like obsessed with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what
Yeah,
that was
we watched
called.
it a couple months back. So good.
All right, so next up on my list, Terminator.
Terminator.
Now I know they haven't made one in a while, but there's 6 movies and a TV show, and I was reading maybe on Reddit that there's talks of doing a what they might say final movie. Please
Listen, I
don't.
was thinking that just come out of retirement. I'm 72 years old, not young Terminator no more.
I just feel that they have a very repetitive plot line. Like every movie is coming back in time or coming to the main protagonist, which is always the future leader, and I either have to kill you or protect you
Sarah Connor.
every time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, or protect the mama. Got to protect the mama.
Listen, Terminator's amazing. I love Terminator. Love
Oh, don't
Terminator
get me wrong.
2.
Great movies.
Terminator 3's all right. Terminator 4's.
I quit watching after 3.
Terminator 5.
I did try and watch the series.
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I didn't get far.
Lena Headey.
I didn't like it.
Lena Headey.
Oh yeah, I didn't get far into it.
I watched the first season, and that was it. And like a lot of sci-fi shows, Fox were like, "We're done with you." I think it got 2 seasons. I don't know. I watched the first one.
Well, and they started getting into like time travel and
Well, the first one had time travel. They all have time travel.
well, I mean,
It's the basis.
yeah, just one instance. Go
Listen,
back, protect.
I don't
or
like
kill.
Avatar, but the main
Look-
problem is James Cameron wasn't there.
But then they started jumping into alternate timelines. Like
Yeah, it's because you're messing with time travel.
well, yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole. Okay, I don't. I just
TVA.
if somebody decided to jump in tomorrow, knowing nothing about it, how are they going to have any idea where to start?
The first one. Terminator 1. You give them the first movie because it goes on from there.
But it jumps around so much. I
It
mean,
does.
even fans that have followed it from the beginning, I guarantee have a hard time sometimes remembering what's canon and what's not now.
Oh, it's all canon. They're
Well-
just different timelines.
You and your different timeline.
That's what it is. That when you go through time travel, you're watching Loki just the same as Zion. Same as Zion. Yeah. Now we're not getting into the Matrix movies. I hope. Listen, when you what you gave me that look, you didn't think of. I just now the Matrix. I was like, maybe I should stop making those movies.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna toss that one in real
I
quick.
didn't even
That last
think
one
about
was
that.
bad.
Let's just agree on that one.
Oh, there were so many
Yeah.
good actors in it, and it was just junk. But
Yeah.
anywho, when you start time traveling back and forth and different branches come out, I think they're all loosely tied. My problem is they had so many good actors in like the fourth and fifth one, but the plots are. I'm going to agree with you. Like I know it sounds like I was sort of defending for a while. I love the first two. Okay, in fact,
Oh, I do too.
the
The
year that
second
Terminator
one
came
is
out, I
probably
named
my
it as my
favorite.
favorite movie of the year. Was that like 86, 87? Like that's
The
I was like
second
Terminator's the
one
best
will
horror
always
movie.
stick with me as my favorite with like the liquid metal and I
That's
just
two.
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's
The
great.
liquid nitrogen. Oh, we beat
Well,
them.
there's that bar that James Cameron set though, and they never met it again.
What for the second one?
No, after the second one.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think at this point it is way overconvoluted. They're never going to come back. Nobody's ever going to. They've lost the whole fan base's faith is gone at this point. There's some
Yeah.
other series that have a couple lame entries that people are they still kind of limp back, but like nobody's going to go see another Terminator. Now the last one I thought they redeemed themselves a little bit, but it's not enough to bring the franchise back.
So remember I told you a couple episodes ago, Jenna Ortega in Wednesday, she never blinks when she's on camera.
I remember this.
When I was researching for this episode for Terminator, I can't remember his name, but the dude that played the T-3000, I think it is
The short dude
the liquid metal dude.
from part 2.
Yes, from
Robert
Terminator 2.
Patrick.
Never once do you see him like taking a breath on purpose. Like when
That's
he,
because Robert Patrick's a beast of an
well,
actor, man.
they said like when he's like running and when he's all this stuff, like they would make sure he was completely calm before they continued because a Terminator doesn't breathe.
That's attention to detail.
I
And a lot of
know.
movies don't have attention to that type of detail
So
anymore.
I'm like, that is something I never thought about. And I went back and watched a few scenes, like the highway scene, stuff like that. He doesn't.
Dude, the music in the soundtrack in part 2 Not just like the needle drops, but like the
Oh
actual
yeah.
theme music is just sick.
Terminator 2 is one of my absolute favorite as far as like action movies go. That and The Last Action Hero. But most people don't even know what that is.
It's good. I mean, it's all right.
That's a
It's not one of the best Schwarzenegger
Schwarzenegger,
movies.
yeah.
You
Oh
know,
no, it was horrible. But it was good.
I like the big poster of Stallone as the Terminator. Like, wait, what? Yeah, yeah. Stop making Terminators. I can completely agree. Rip out the trip. Skynet's over. I just saw a video about how some AI in some experiment they have like one eye to where it can see people, and the other one is covered, and they can just get the radio waves of people talking. And they let the AI watch for a while. I don't know what the time limit was, and then they covered up the other eye, and the AI created a 3D image of where everybody was talking. So basically, now, according to this guy who was on some big stage talking to a bunch of tech smart people, that now these computers and the AI can make like 3D models know where people are by using the Wi-Fi signals and the radio waves in the air. So like, dude, Skynet's around the corner, man. We're gonna get fried. We're done.
Chat
Over.
GPT.
Yeah, I mean, how do we come up with the images for our
Oh AI. Yeah,
AI?
absolutely.
Totally AI, because I can't draw very good.
Which hopefully we have an image for this episode by the time it drops
Oh, we
because
will for sure.
I
We
spent
will.
so much
I'm gonna
time
go
the
back in
last
time.
week trying to
Back
find an
in
image of
time.
beating a dead horse or milking a cow.
Skulls,
You can't find
skeletons.
anything
No,
like
I think you're
decent.
right. I think you can't do violence with
I think
AI
there's filters. You can't
until it
do
decides to
yeah.
do violence to us. All right. Well, this next one I'm going to throw it in here just real quick. Another horror one. Amityville. There's 22 of them damn movies about a house. They've sent the
Wow.
house to space.
Wasn't
They
Ryan
spent
Reynolds
the
in
house
one?
to the hood.
They sent to space?
They sent it to space. I didn't watch them, but there's like 22 plus of these damn movies. All right.
Wasn't Ryan
Get a
Reynolds
fucking
in one?
bulldozer. It's over. Yeah, that one was cool. I like that movie.
That's the only one I ever remember seeing.
Yeah. Well, that was a remake.
Which did you know that's actually based on a place in Pennsylvania?
I do. Uh, Yeah.
We should make a road trip.
Yeah. Where do you think all the Conjurings and all those things came from? It's all Amityville adjacent. But
Yeah.
it's a damn house. Just stop. No, seriously, get a bulldozer. Be done with it. Over.
One thing is burn it down.
Because it'll set you on fire. I think. Well, I guess even with the bulldozer, the house is like alive in a lot of these movies. At one point, so here's I don't. You only saw the one. They have a garage sale outside of the Amityville house. They have a mirror. Somehow, the entity, the devil in it, has transferred its weight into a mirror or a lamp. Maybe it's a lamp, and it gets bought, taken to a whole nother house. A little girl finds it upstairs. This is like the first one I saw as a little kid, as the garbage disposal scene where you get this hand mangled in a garbage disposal. Oh yeah, it's done really well. But like,
Again, practical effects.
yeah, it was way back when, like late '80s. I didn't get to that one again to rewatch it. Yeah, so stop doing those ones. And Tomb Raiders. Go with the Tomb Raiders. I already threw that one in there a long time
Yeah.
ago. Fell asleep in 'em several times. Never watched the newest one.
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I didn't play the games either.
I played the first two games of the remake. Was just Tomb Raider and then Rise of the Tomb Raider. Really, really well done games. But I don't know.
I think if I want to watch a movie like that, I'll just watch Indiana Jones. Yeah,
The first three.
I'll watch all of them. I will. Anyway, it's your turn. I'll stop talking. It's your turn.
Shrek
Shrek.
and Puss in Boots.
Wow, I didn't even think of kids type stuff. I
Five
guess it's geeky. in a
Shrek
way, yeah.
movies.
Wow.
5 Shrek movies, 3 Puss in
But it's
Boots.
Antonio Banderas. Yeah.
So
Kids love it. Kids love
this,
it.
I think this one
Makes
is
money.
because they're still making them. They just put out a Puss in Boots this year. And this is one of those movies that when it came out, it was so popular and so funny
It's like
because
those damn Despicable Me movies. I'm gonna
well, it
lump
had
this
the
in
kid
together.
humor, but it also had the subtle adult humor. And we watched it in like every class every year around Christmas for like
Oh, I'm glad I was older not to watch that.
years. And it got to a point where yeah, I'll watch it with my kids now and then. It's still a funny movie, but watching back to back to back, like it's the same plot on almost every one, just done in a different way.
Somebody once told me. R.I.P. to the lead singer. I don't know his name, but he
Yeah.
recently passed.
Sadly.
You know.
But every single one is about self-acceptance and the importance of your inner beauty and accepting who you are. Which don't get me wrong, that's a very important message, and I want people to get that. But when you do it repeatedly like this, it really makes that less impactful because all you're doing is waiting for the next.
I don't think the kids ever got that.
You're
message,
looking for the
though.
next my ass joke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all about the jokes. It's all about Mike Myers and those things. Nobody.
Now he was the perfect voice for it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the
I
impressions he does are amazing, but it's ran its course for sure.
I just think it's it's
Give it a couple of years, they'll do a remake and it'll all be live action. You know,
Did you see they did a live action, but it was like a Broadway play of one, and it was
yeah.
terrifying
I
stuff.
had somebody, I don't remember who it was, but this person was like really into Idris Elba, and they're like the sexiest man on the entire planet,
I thought it
and
was Idris
somehow
Elba.
Idris Elba, Idris. Anyway, they took him, the sexiest man on the planet, this lady said, and they put him in Cats, and somehow made him unattractive. Like, oh, he was barely wearing nothing, and still he was unattractive. Like, yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was absolutely horrible.
Oh yeah.
Not that all horrible movies are really that bad. Is it my turn? I mean, I threw a lot of little ones in the middle, but I mean, we already kind of threw it out there for a minute. But Avatar, I know there's
Oh
only two of them. They're gonna make three of them, probably a slew more.
no, 4.
But they're making four
They're
of them.
making 3 more on
More
top of the one.
Pocahontases in space.
Yep.
That's what we need. More Pocahontas in space, so that they can take my overpriced movie money. I can go pay $37.50 to go watch CGI green people on creatures that don't exist and
Blue.
fly around. Blue,
Yeah, blue.
blue, green, purple. I don't. They're so boring
Did you ever
to
think
me.
about the fact that in the first movie they use their tails to have intercourse, but then they also use their tails on giant beasts in order to control them?
Well, we'll add that to the list of issues with that series. That's apparently just never
Yeah,
going to stop because that's all James Cameron does now. He just makes Avatar. That's his entire life.
it's better than
He gave us
Titanic.
Terminator, and then he gave us Avatar. Look, listen, James Cameron, his filmography is stellar, to say the least. And it's okay if people make jokes about him. His bank account could probably buy this entire town. So
Oh
we're
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
He's doing just fine. Yeah, so that was mine. Avatar. Stop making them. I don't have a whole lot of points other than they're boring, they're boring, and they're boring
All right.
and unoriginal.
So speaking of aliens,
Star Trek's better.
good segue into my next one involving aliens. Not the Alien franchise. Don't worry.
Good, because well, I got another one of those coming out.
Talking about Men in Black.
The men
So
in, the men in black.
there's 4 of them. The fourth one was, in my personal opinion, a complete dumpster fire. The third one was
There was just
decent.
no emotion in it.
No,
It was
no.
devoid of life.
It had, what was it, Liam Hemsworth or no?
Yeah, Thor. It had
Yeah,
Thor
no,
and the Valkyrie in
not
it.
Liam. Chris Hemsworth and whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I can't
It's
remember.
Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie. Yeah, but I didn't like it. And I'm
Tessa Thompson.
at the risk of getting slapped.
Not from this guy.
If there's no Will Smith in
You're too
it,
far away.
it's not a Men in Black movie.
I just listened to Big Willie Style the other day. True story. I was riding around, I was like, I don't know why Men in Black is in my head, but I listened to because I went and bought it as when I was like, I don't know, 14 or something.
The original movie.
No, I bought the Big
Oh,
Willie
the
Style.
album.
Yeah, the
Oh,
album.
okay.
I used to know a lot, like tons of those songs, like rapping them and whatnot. If you want to, some people say it's not rap, but whatever.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, and I just want to throw it out there.
Well, I thought it was a great. Like the first one was amazing. The second one was pretty good.
I didn't like the third one.
The third one, I thought they did a really good pick of was it, the actor that played a young
Brolin.
a young
Josh
shoot,
Brolin.
what was his? Yeah, was it Josh Brolin?
Yeah, it was Thanos.
Wow, he was really young. I was gonna say he played a fantastic Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm gonna throw out some trivia here for you
Crap,
about what we talked about earlier, Amityville, just real quick.
crap.
You said you saw the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yes,
You know who's in the original Amityville Horror?
Ryan Reynolds' dad.
No,
I have no
Josh
idea.
Brolin's dad.
Oh, jeez.
So, and then they're in Deadpool together and all that. Yeah, just throwing it out there. Little
And he's Thanos. Man, that man's everywhere.
doing a lot of stuff. So-
You're up.
Oh, it's me. It's my turn. I'm sorry, I was sleeping. You put me to sleep. It's that nice, sweet, soft voice of yours. Speaking of nice, sweet, soft voices like raptors, stop making Jurassic Parks. Stop making the cartoons. Stop making the movies. Do not make me any live action TV shows. Just don't do it.
So
Terra Nova was cool though.
Jurassic Park is one of my absolute favorite movies. The original.
I like the first two.
But I have to agree, the recent trilogy really fell on its face.
The first one with Chris in it, I didn't think was that horrible.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. The one after it was a train wreck, and I'm only a quarter of the way into the last one, Dominion, and I don't think I'm ever going to finish that movie. How
Well-
can you make a movie with dinosaurs and motorcycles and them running around the earth boring? It's
Yeah.
just you bring back all these characters and it's just boring. I don't know how do you pull that off?
Well, and they took a franchise that was all about survival and two completely polar opposite species being thrown into the same, well, island together, and they turned it into genetic research and weaponry.
Well, that's humans, right?
Well, I mean, I feel like they took the entire heart of what that movie was originally about and just crushed it.
Did you read the novel? You're a reader.
I did actually.
Did
I
you?
read that and The Lost World.
Yeah. Were they good?
Yeah.
They're
Uh,
probably they're popular books when I was a kid. I just
very
yeah
different from the movies,
yeah I've heard
but
that.
amazing in their own right. That's on my list as well. Jurassic franchise. I feel like they tried to wrap too much up in the sequels. Like some things were best left unknown, like the shaving cream can.
Dotson. We got Dotson over here. Dotson. Nobody cares. Nobody
Dotson
cares.
returns in the Camp Cretaceous cartoon, and he finds the shaving cream can, and he has it in the sixth movie.
I'll take your word for it.
Why? There was no need to wrap that up. That was a beautiful little like, oh, it's lost forever.
It's fan service.
Yeah,
It's not an
absolutely.
Easter egg. It's fan service. It's they're banking on things like that to get that movie money from suckers. But the last one tanked. So hopefully that sent them a
Yeah.
message. Hey, we're done with this shit. Knock it off.
I read that they were looking at making another.
Shoot her. That's what I said about the series. Shoot her. Sorry, I
Uh,
cut you off. I
no, I
apologize.
like that. Yeah, I read that they were looking at making. It was either another trilogy or a series, but I don't know. I never saw anything more about it.
Well, I don't know
So,
how it ends or how it supposedly has ended so far. So I don't even know where they could
so you
go.
don't like the giant locust?
What the? What kind of? Listen, we've been preaching practical effects here and there, but what in the blue blazes was that all about?
You find out later.
I mean, I saw up to where all the main characters run into each other at the complex, and like he's like, "Oh, secretly you should go check this stuff out," even though I'm not really talking to you. I don't know. We went to make dinner, and she's like, "You gonna keep watching that?" And I was like, no. Watch Big Brother or something. We're done. We're over it." Yeah, yeah. Stop making Jurassic Parks. Pull the teeth. Shoot her. Put him down. Put him down. Put it back in the freezer, John.
Yeah,
Not you, John. I'm talking like
John Hammond.
John Hammond, yeah. Good actor. That dude's a good actor, though. A lot of good
Oh yeah.
actors in the series. Again, how can you take so many good stars and make junk? I don't know.
Well, in the first movie, well, the first two movies really like made stars. Vince Vaughn was in the second one,
Yeah,
or third one,
second one.
second one. Yeah.
Have you seen the superimposed video where everybody rolls up in the jeeps and they all get out and they're all excited and they're all surprised at what they're looking at and it's just cats?
No,
It's just big cats. Like
that's
he's
awesome.
fumbling his glasses and he's like, "Oh my god!" It's just like a big black and white
Somebody should
cat.
redo it with the Idris Elba from Cats.
Oh my god! There you go, guys. I got a task for you folks. Whoever's good with Photoshop, video editor type fancy stuff. That's
Email
what I want to
us
see.
geeksinattree@gmail.com.
Yes,
Send us the picture. I need to
yes,
see this.
for sure. Yeah, we're only got a couple left here.
Yeah, I've
So
got I think two or three.
I got one, two, three. We're like a luge team right now. We're heading down the. I don't know if they call it the home stretch. I don't like baseball. I can't use baseball references.
No.
This is football. We're in the red zone, baby. Gonna get up a tutty or two or three.
So my next one has 9 movies, 2 side movies, 10 series, like 10 separate shows,
Well,
and there's
you got
over
two.
a half a dozen more currently in production.
I'll quit this podcast right now, buddy. I will quit.
Star Wars.
I'm still here, bud. I'm still here.
You thought it was
We're good.
Trek?
Yeah, and I was like, oh. I knew
No.
there's a lot more. There's a lot more Trek out there in Star Wars, but I was like, you gotta be like, you only saw 5 episodes, buddy. Like,
So okay, so Star Wars. I've seen the prequels. I still think Jar Jar Binks was a secret Sith Lord. Prove me wrong. If you never saw that theory, I will send you the video. Somebody
we've been over
breaks
this.
it down.
We've been over this.
I saw the original trilogy. Still love it.
Okay.
Now, understand, I was never a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I have
I've never been a mega.
appreciation.
I appreciate some of it, but I'm not
Yeah,
a mega fan.
I have appreciation where appreciation
It ain't
is due.
Trek.
Then I saw of the new trilogy, the first two. Never saw the third. Was it Rise of the Skywalker or whatever? I've never watched any.
Rise of the Emperor.
Never watched any of the shows, the cartoons, the Clone Wars, or I don't even know what they're all called. To be honest with you. And of the 2 side movies, Solo and Rogue One,
I like Solo.
I've only seen Rogue One.
Boring.
I thought it was fantastic.
Rogue One to me is like
Well,
Titanic. Don't
see,
tell me the end. They
no,
all die. Like I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, okay.
There's no stakes.
that
There's no
was
stakes.
that was a problem with it. We already knew what happened. But Rogue One, I loved it, and I think it's because I forgot it was a Star Wars movie. There was no force, there was no lightsabers. It was like watching Saving Private Ryan. Like it was more of a space military movie. Like we got to break in, we got to do this, we got to do this. Okay, there's very little force. The guy who doesn't get hit by anything.
The samurai guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because he plays the samurai in like everything.
Well, of
Samurai
course.
type dude. He's typecast him. He's
But
great, but
if you okay, so it's great. I mean, I understand people want more. Give me more of this universe. I
like
love this
Mandalorian.
universe. But oh yeah, I love Mandalorian. I haven't seen Ahsoka yet. but I heard it was really,
I
really
watched the
good.
first episode. I'm waiting. I think they just finished. So now I'm
Yeah, they
gonna.
did.
I don't have, like I said, I don't have Disney Plus, so I need to purchase them in other ways.
Right. I haven't seen Boba Fett or Book of
You're
Fett
not missing
or
nothing.
whatever it was.
Close that chapter, homie.
I
Shut
didn't
it
even
down.
know that they actually made a Kenobi show.
I liked it.
I
I
heard they
liked
were
it.
going to, but I didn't know they actually did it. Did they
Yeah,
bring what's his name, Hayden Christensen or whatever
oh
back?
yeah.
Did they?
Oh yeah, they definitely brought him back. Make a Jumper sequel. Sorry,
Dude, I would watch that.
Jumper's dope.
I would totally watch that. That was a great movie.
All right. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah.
stay. So what you're saying is you like some Star Wars,
as
but
a
overall they should just wrap it up.
as a new viewer coming into it, where the heck do you start with everything? Don't say the beginning because you can watch it in order, or you can go online.
I would start
and
with
there's a hatchet cut where they
the
put it
Phantom
all.
Menace. Start with the Phantom Menace.
See, everything online says you cut that movie out. You don't need it. I think that movie had one of the
Then
best
you have Liam
villains.
Neeson.
Well,
You have Qui-Gon, man. Qui-Gon was a beat. What? I mean, I know he died, but like, come on.
Darth Maul was terrified me as a kid. Like I
Yeah.
thought he was a very good villain. Which actually, he's the same one that in the first X-Men movie, he's the
Braveheart.
yeah, the lizard dude that jumps all over the place. Same
Toad.
actor. Yeah, Toad. Thank you. So as far as Star Wars goes, I know this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but please just stop already. You're killing the novelty of it.
Are you saying stop the Star Wars franchise or stop the Star Wars movies?
Just stop.
Stop them all.
Yeah, just
Wrap
let
up every show and
let
just be
people
done.
enjoy what they have. Maybe in 50 years you can reboot it.
But then how are we going to get an XR Coon? We're never going to get an XR Coon? Well, they can't now because they already screwed up
I
Skywalkers.
don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, it's part of my Star Wars encyclopedia that's now not canon anymore. None of it matters.
The only thing that matters,
you
people.
true Star Wars fans out there know who XR Coon is.
My biggest issue with the entire franchise is that Disney is just milking that poor franchise to death.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I honestly think that they're just pumping out content because they know it's going to make money. They don't care about the viewers.
Disney's turning into the new Sony.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
for
they
sure.
don't care about what they make as long as there's money coming in from it. Because, like you said, some of the shows, Mandalorian stuff like that, are doing great.
Yeah. Well,
Hey-
even that show has some ups and downs. Even some of those episodes are a bit
Right.
iffy.
But eventually, it's going to start declining. And I think that as soon as they start declining, it's
People are
going to
gonna
be
get
a
tired of drinking
slippery
sour
slope.
milk.
It's just going to be a straight shot down.
Sour blue
The
milk.
fan base is going to get destroyed. And
Yeah.
I think, kind of like you were saying, like Terminator, no one's going to go see the next one
Yeah.
because they are milking it too far.
To put a little analog here, Star Wars, Star Trek. Now, Picard. They brought
Same
back
thing.
they brought back Jean-Luc Picard. People are very lukewarm on the first season. Second season, time travel, whatnot. They're like, oh, fans are pissed. Third season, they bring everybody from TNG. It's an amazing series. It's got like the awesome ratings online.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton is in the second season, actually, for a
Okay.
second. Yeah, he didn't come back to the third one. And he has a podcast and he explains why he didn't come back. Because a lot of people are like, where's he at? Because like he should have connected to it.
Was
But-
Picard the one that played Professor X?
Yes,
I can't
Patrick
remember
Stewart.
his name. Thank you, Patrick
Yeah.
Stewart. Sir,
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
So what they did, Terry Metalis comes in. He's an actual fan. He grew up watching these shows as a kid. They hire this guy to make the show, like somebody that gives a crap about it. Unlike Disney, who's just like, no, with money, money, money. If it's a Mandalorian, kids are gonna buy it. If it's got a Baby Yoda, kids are gonna buy it. You know, like it's
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have a little noodle bowl and chopsticks that have Baby Yoda on it eating noodles.
little Grogu, man.
My wife found it at Hobby Lobby for like $5. I can't say I use it
Yeah,
because
Hobby
my
Lobby won't
kids
do
use
Halloween,
it.
but they'll do Star Wars. Yeah, let's not get into that.
Well, my kids use it all the time. But I mean, sure, do the marketing, go for it. There's a difference between marketing toys and stuff like that and pumping out the media side of it. Because
No.
a true fan,
I agree with you completely.
like a true fan, might not go buy the toys. They might not collect stuff like that, but they're going to go watch the movies. That's my mini rant on Star Wars.
Okay.
So if
No.
you disagree with us, please let me know. Because
Well,
I'm
we're down to one
sure-
viewer now, one listener. Like everybody's checked out.
Hey, Steve, thank you for staying.
Well, actually, Terminator we already covered Terminator.
Yep.
Now this one's gonna sound a little bit confusing. I'm gonna lump it in all these together. X-Men, Fantastic Four. X-Men, there's 13 movies. They're planning on doing like probably 15 or more. Fantastic Four, there's already 5 of them. They're planning on doing like 6.
There's that many X-Men?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they
the X-Men
rebooted,
Origins
but-
of the Wolverines and all of them. They're all together.
Wow, I didn't know there was that
Yeah.
many.
Now listen, I'm not saying don't ever make an X-Men movie. I'm not saying don't ever make a Fantastic Four movie. Don't make it next year and don't make it the year after. Give me a decade, okay? Phantom Menace,
Phase 36 of the Marvel Universe.
when Phantom Menace dropped, when that trailer dropped, and you're sitting there in your classrooms on your, we didn't have YouTube back then, so it was like little Apple viewers. It
Yep.
was like quick movies, Q
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh, and they
remember.
took forever to load. It was all dial up. Blue. I had a blue light Kmart internet back then. It was really slow at the school, but everybody was just going for a frenzy. If
We're
that's what
really,
you want, and you
really
want,
dating ourselves
yeah,
right
and
now.
you want like droves of people to get to the theater, stop putting them out every couple years. You already like wet our whistle.
I didn't know what you're
Okay,
talking about. I'm
we know
sorry.
we already got Deadpool coming out. You know, they're bringing all these people back.
They already confirmed Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine in
Yeah,
Deadpool
well,
3.
yeah. There's pictures. He's there.
We don't know if it's going to be a like
Jennifer Garner.
brief thing or is she coming back?
Yeah, Elektra. Ben Affleck's a 50-50. They're not really saying is. Reports are back and forth. My point is, finish those up. What you're planning on doing, but like the Fantastic Four and stuff. First off, you got to figure out how they even evolve, like how they even are part of everything. How are the X-Men part of everything? The TVA, Loki. I know they have some master plan somewhere, but it's too soon to me, man. It's too soon. I still got like a broken ink pen taste in my mouth right now. I don't. The last X-Men movie. I'm not talking about the New Mutants. I actually sort of enjoyed that movie. It's just they need to take time. I'm not saying don't ever make them, but don't make them right now. Just
The New
give.
Mutants was actually really good.
I liked it.
It
I liked it.
bombed, but I think it's because they had to keep rewriting, refilming. It had so many production issues, but I really like that they did such a dark take on it.
Oh yeah, it was like a
That's the
horror
first
movie.
time I ever saw.
Except for the guy that was in Stranger Things, he was in it, and I don't like that guy.
It's the first time I ever saw what's her name, that Anya or whatever.
What is her name? She plays chess.
Yes, she's in
Yeah.
the Queen's Gambit. She's in
Think she beat Bobby Fischer?
the
Who
Menu.
knows?
Did you ever see
Oh,
the
the
Menu?
Menu. Oh,
Amazing.
what a
If you
horror
want to
movie
see
that is.
Lord Voldemort cooking, go check. It's a
Oh, and it has
phenomenal.
Beast in it too.
Oh, you're right. It does.
Yeah,
It's
all types
her
of people
date.
in there. And John Leguizamo, he's still popping up.
Fantastic movie. Oh my
So
word.
good. But anyway, this isn't about
Yeah.
restaurant shows or anything. The Great British Bake Off. Okay,
My
we're
wife just
talking.
watched the Great Junior British Bake Off.
I started watching a Halloween one, making Halloween cakes. But anywho, just wait some time. That's my whole rant. Wait. Not ready for it. But get Skelnar. I'm telling you.
Skeletor?
No.
Is that the last one on your list?
No, I have one more to go.
Okay. So the last one on my list, I saved it for last because it's definitely going to be the most controversial, more than Star Wars. As much as it pains me to say this, because I'll admit I've been a huge fan from the beginning, I think the MCU needs to stop. I think it's time to die. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is currently at 32 movies and 23 TV shows. That's including the Netflix, Cloak and Dagger,
Right.
all that stuff. And now I'm going to get a little geeky here on you for a second. From the press releases and the big Feige reveals and the timelines, we know Secret Wars is coming. If you don't know what Secret Wars is,
I do. But they might not know, so you tell them.
okay, I can do that real quick. It's a comic series where think of it as like almost like a Loki-esque character, but definitely with a lot more power, decides to take handfuls of superheroes and enemy or villains, throw them on a place called Battle World, and let them just fight it out for his own enjoyment. That's basically
Fight!
yeah. Throughout the series, lots of stuff happens.
Secretly.
They did another Secret Wars later that picked up shortly after the events of the first Secret Wars, where Doctor Doom overpowers the Beyonder, takes his cosmic power, and forges Battle
He got
World.
crazy powerful, man.
He forges
Crazy
Battle World
powerful.
literally into his own world. Like what's he called? Emperor God Doom, I think it is.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And in the beginning of that comic, or that
Well, one of them is the one where
series-
the Hulk holds up a mountain, which was pretty cool.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
I think it was that one.
It was-
Well, in the beginning
No,
of that
the
series,
original. It was like the
Oh,
original
okay.
one from way back in the 70s, or
I've read them, but it's been a
Yeah.
long time. I have them. Well, I have number 8, the first appearance of the Black Suit.
gotcha.
I have the entire run of Secret Wars 2, though. This is another Secret Wars that is in the same timeline, but the new one starts out with our heroes trying to save as many people as they can, but while also evacuating on their own ship called the Ark, because two Earths are colliding.
Yeah.
And
Thanks
if
a lot, Reed Richards.
you read into it at all, and you very quickly understand that it's two
Yeah.
multiverse Earths colliding, which they call an incursion
Right.
in Multiverse of Madness. So the idea is that they're going to essentially soft reboot the whole MCU by having, my understanding, by having that part of the Secret Wars take place where the two worlds collide, But instead of destroying it, our characters go to Battle World, meet Doom, fight Doom. They're going to basically merge together, and that's how we're going to get Fantastic Four and
Yeah.
the X-Men, because they're all people who live on different Earths that don't exist on ours. And as much as I really don't want to see it, I've read rumors that they're secretly been casting or looking to cast a new Tony Stark. They're talking about
Well, it's
bringing.
Tom Cruise.
That'd be a really short Tony Stark.
Hey, man, let him stand on the box like every other movie.
But that's how they want to retcon like actors who died. Chadwick Boseman, they could put a new Black Panther in without being disrespectful.
Right.
They can bring back Black Widow, Iron Man.
Or some characters that haven't already been done.
That'd be great. Like I said, I saw rumors that
Maybe a Taskmaster that's not shit.
I saw rumors of a Quasar.
Wendell Vaughn, shout out, buddy. It's your quantum bands of power.
So that's how they're talking about rebooting the MCU. But do we really need that? I mean, I understand Iron Man came out in 2005. Do we need another one? Because I remember when Endgame
Well,
was
they
like,
need another one because they need to start making money again.
well, like I remember Endgame was the pinnacle of the MCU. That was the movie everybody been waiting
Well, it is the bar.
20 years for.
It's the bar. There was the Dark Knight, and then there was Endgame.
Well, and I get it. It was the wrap up of phases 1 through 3, 4, whatever.
It was phase 1.
No, there's multiple phases there. Oh yeah, look, if you look, there's multiple phases. Like Guardians of the Galaxy didn't even come into phase 2.
Okay.
Like phase 1 ended with the original Avengers movie.
Okay.
I feel like it's one of those things where it went from, oh my gosh, this movie is amazing, my mind is blown, I can't believe they did that, and immediately moved on to, okay, what's next? We forgot about it. We forgot about those feelings when we see, freaking Captain America pick up Mjolnir. I cheered. I'm not gonna lie. You're welcome.
I know. I mean, you've stated several times
I know.
that you're throwing some honesty out, and I appreciate honesty.
Oh man. I also feel that they're starting to slip. Like look at Ant-Man, Quantumania. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I thought it could have used a better plot for the most part. It felt kind
I
of
give it a 7.
The CGI needed some work.
Wonder why.
Jonathan Majors was amazing. Like I can't say anything bad about him in that movie. I thought his performance was.
I like Jonathan
Through
Majors.
the
I think he's
roof.
a good actor.
But then you turn around and you look at like the Eternals. This is my example of this constant push to get more content out to make more money in a hurry. Really is hurting the
You're
franchise.
preaching to the choir, buddy.
Not, I'm talking to the people. No, I'm talking to Steve. The Eternals would have made a phenomenal TV show. Give us time. Give us time to understand who they are, why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, I've read so many fan theories and
I thought they explained it perfectly fine. I really, really enjoyed the movie. Ending's iffy, but that's just a villain problem.
Well, I like the movie,
Well, I thought it explained everything to me. I get it.
but I thought they could have taken more time to flesh it out better. There's characters that we still don't really know much about. You can't name every one of those
Well,
characters.
that's why it's supposed to have a part 2. But you won't get a part 2 if you end it all.
You won't get part 2 if the movie's garbage.
It wasn't garbage. It was a good movie. You just said it was a good movie.
Yeah, but we don't matter. Look at IMDb. It's one of the lowest rated of the MCU.
No, I know. I know it is.
And the whole
I don't argue
the
that.
Celestial coming up out of the earth.
But I don't buy
You see it one
that's
other
the
time.
critics, man.
But I feel like that could have been a great television show. Instead, they pushed it. They made a movie. They tried to suck up money. They put big names in it just to get people into the theaters, and it failed. Then we turn
You got
around.
my money.
Well, then we turn around and look at like Loki. I think Loki is a fantastic show.
Oh, it's very good.
They're doing amazing.
Yeah.
WandaVision is still at the top of my list. That was just amazingly done. But then we turn around and look at the other side of it again. Look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What about it?
I thought it was going to be like almost like a buddy cop show, and it turned.
was.
No, it went hardcore political. At least in the end, it went heavily political about like accepting the refugees, and they cut out massive portions of the plot because there's this whole subplot line about like them releasing a virus and stuff like that because of COVID.
Well, sometimes you gotta go with the times of what's going on. You know, you be sensitive to the world in pain.
You don't.
Heartless. Absolutely heartless. We'll have to have a Marvel show one time, and we might actually have some conflict on some things, but that's fine.
Oh, jeez.
So wrap it up. That's what you're saying.
Up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I hate to say it because I love the MCU. It's been a huge part of my entire life since high school. I graduated back then.
Yeah,
way back then. After you, but still back then. Just
hey,
had to throw that out there.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm an old man Logan over here.
The one good thing, though, it's a good and bad, I think, is that the MCU started a domino effect of pushing geek culture into the mainstream media. Like
double-edged sword.
We saw comic book characters in movies. That's awesome. We get the comic book movies. We also get sky high comic book prices.
I thought you could say Sky High. I was like, I like that movie.
That was a good movie. Actually, it had Danielle Pennebaker from The Flash. She
Yeah.
was in it as the little poison ivy like character. Anyways, the comic book prices exploded, and as a collector, I couldn't buy anything for years. I just recently started buying again, and I'm trying to stop. So, if you know of a hotline for comic book addiction, please let me know.
I'll look into that.
Dungeons and Dragons, it's now like completely normal for anybody to be like, "Oh yeah, I play D&D." 10 years ago, that wasn't a thing at all.
Is that a
Now,
problem though?
Stranger
Is that a
Things had a
problem?
lot to do with that,
Yeah.
but I mean, no, it's not a problem, but at the same time, it is
Well,
because
Bobby Millie Brown or Millie Bobby Brown or whatever her name is just said the other day, she's like, let's wrap this show up. She
well, they
wants
only
to
have
be
one.
done.
They already said season 5 was the end.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's like already over it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure she's filthy rich
She's
from
bitter.
it, but
No.
but
I think she's
so like it's great
overrated.
because yes, it's in the mainstream eye, like it doesn't have that taboo like it did back in the 70s and 80s.
Satanic
But at
panic.
the same time, like now they're pushing like D&D 1 and stuff like that, which is going from the 5th edition to the next one, which is supposed to be more of like you pay for the content and like they're
I don't
trying to commercialize what used to be buy the books, go
This
have
is all
fun.
Marvel's fault? Is that where you're going with this? Is this all Marvel's fault? It's Disney's
No,
fault. It's Disney's fault.
I'm just saying that I feel like the MCU created this domino effect that pushed the world of geek into the public eye.
Maybe they can push me into the public eye. Us, our show. It's called Disney. Let's get a sponsor.
That yeah, there we go.
I'm good.
Welcome to the Tree of Geek, brought to you by Disney.
We own your soul.
I'm putting that at the end.
We own your soul. Are
So
you?
that's it. That's
That's
my
it.
rant. I'm sorry for going overboard there.
That's okay. You are. It's passion. You got to be passionate about things. I can see. You guys can't see it, but man, he's passionate right now.
And again,
Whew.
I love those movies.
I do too. But
But
some
I
things
mean,
need to change.
at some point, you got to put your 35-year-old dog down.
Yeah.
It's deaf, blind. It can't walk anymore.
It's an old Yeller thing.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
didn't cry in
it's
that movie.
eating through a straw. It's time.
I got one last.
What is
one
it?
last one.
I have a few honorable mentions.
Well, this one's more of an ethical thing. It's not really a geeky thing. It's just something that's really been bugging me for a while, and this is the only time I'm really going to get to say it. Stop making TV shows or movies about real life serial killers. Knock it
Hmm.
off. I don't need another Bundy,
Like I said, the Bundy.
Gacy. I'm not saying that some of these movies weren't or TV shows weren't put together well. The acting's great in some of them not. All these Zodiac, they keep pumping Zodiac movies out. I don't know why, but I feel like so many people have been harmed in real life by serial killers. Or I mean, we have so many mass shootings and killings going on right now. Everything over on the other side of the world's going to, and it's just
Yeah.
blown up. I watch horror movies for fantasy. Okay, if Jason Voorhees was a real person, I wouldn't be watching the pseudo documentary movies, the Friday the 13th series. I wouldn't. I don't want to go watch a Bundy movie. I don't want to
Mm.
watch a Dahmer movie. I don't want to put more spotlight on Charles Manson. There's people that are still alive that had family members murdered or worse things have happened to them. And yet they have to sit there and turn on Netflix and go, oh, it's another Dahmer movie. Well, here's another Bundy movie. My grandmother or my
Wonder if they'll
grandfather or my
mention.
uncle.
Yeah, wonder if they'll mention my family this time.
Yeah, like,
Let them be forgotten.
and it's not that I know it sounds weird because I'm a horror movie fan. I love watching people get hacked up and things. I know it sounds stupid,
No,
but
no.
it's I play GTA. You know, we play video games. We play D&D. You know, we play pretend in the backyard when we're kids because it's all pretend, it's all fake, it's all fun.
Yeah.
We know we're not like we really shouldn't. Some people do it, which is why we shouldn't be putting spotlight. Don't give these guys more credit than they deserve. They're pieces of garbage, ruined people, murdered people, raped people. Stop making movies and TV shows about them. Stop getting a quick buck. If I want to know about them, I'll get on Wikipedia, watch a biography or something, but I don't need a Golden Globe winning series about Ted Bundy. I don't know if it did or not. I'm sure some of them's won an award somewhere. Just they don't deserve it.
I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of
I
those.
don't want to end this on a sour note, but
No,
man, it
it's one
just
of those
really
things like
bugs me.
let them be forgotten by time.
Yeah.
They don't deserve the attention that they're getting. They don't deserve to be
Yeah, the
glorified.
Unabomber doesn't need a TV show. Like, just,
Right.
no, we don't need that stuff. Now
No.
you want like we have NCIS. We joked about it before. We got Law and Order. You know, these are ripped from the headlines. You know, let's do it that way.
My buddy's wife. If you're listening, I apologize, but I've told you this before. She always watched the SVU, Special Victims Unit. and I never paid attention. They're pretty much all about rapes and like women getting like.
Oh, got to find that DNA.
Like, why do you want to watch this?
It's about the mystery, find
So
out who's the killer. There's enough horror in the world, you know.
right,
That I watch these movies and these TV shows like Loki and everything because I want my mind to go somewhere else.
that's
I
a
don't want CNN or Fox News or wherever it is like on the TV all the time.
that's why I
Whichever
don't
way you
watch
go.
horror movies. If I'm going to take the time to watch something, I usually want a comedy, something I can relax and enjoy. I just watched John Wick for the first time last week.
Congratulations.
My buddy Eric, if you're listening, yeah, you heard me. I finally watched it. And yes, it was a great movie, but it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen.
Best one out of the bunch.
I don't understand the raving. If they weren't already done with it, I would have it on my list because I don't know how they can really top what I already saw.
Well, that listen, the main series is done, but they're coming out with another one,
The,
the Ballerina
they're following the dog's
with
brother.
Anna de Armas.
Isn't
is
there
supposed to
something
be in
called
it.
like the Continental? It's called like the
Yeah,
hotel.
the TV show.
Is that okay? Is
Yeah.
that?
It's
I
on
know it was the
Amazon, I
same
think.
universe, but
Yeah, it's a prequel.
oh man.
Yeah, so I guess that's still going.
Honorable mention. I
Yeah,
do
what
want
do
to
you got?
say, for the love of the poor old men in the movie, stop making the Expendables.
Yeah,
We didn't need 4 movies about wrinkly old action heroes
I agree.
trying to buff up their retirement.
You already put the dream team together in the first and second one. We're good.
Yeah,
Moving
absolutely.
on. Moving on.
Absolutely. And it's not a geek movie by any means, but the Left Behind series.
The Christian.
Yes.
So,
It's
yeah.
based on the book series called Left Behind, where the rapture happens, Christians are gone. It follows people on Earth after
Yeah.
that event. There's, I think it was like 5 or 6 movies. 3 of them are the first one, based on the first
Kirk
book.
Cameron,
Like, yeah.
the main guy.
The one had
Mike Seaver. For all
yes,
you old heads out
yes,
there.
going way back there. No, the one reboot
Alan
they tried to
Thicke.
do of it, they had Nicolas Cage in it, and it still
Dude,
failed.
he'll make any movie.
He will.
He'll make any. He needs to make a money, man.
It's like Left Behind is the Christian Fast and the Furious. Stop already, people. Please.
Yeah,
Any
keep
other
it to
honorable
myself.
mentions you want to throw out there?
Oh no, I think I rambled on and remembered them as I was going. So
Series that
Yeah.
need to stop. The Tree of Geek.
cut them branches, rip it out, get the stump chewer, whatever it's called.
The Wood Chipper. Like, what's that movie? Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen that movie,
I
that
can't
is
wait to rewatch it. It's on my
the
list to
perfect
rewatch.
Halloween movie. It's a
It's very good.
pseudo parody slasher.
It's a horror comedy. It's just a straight up horror
But
comedy.
it's not really horror.
People there's blood and gore.
Okay, fine. Okay,
There's
it's a
blood and
horror
gore.
comedy.
It's
Go watch. It has Alan Tudyk. If you don't know who that is, he plays Wash in Firefly.
Resident Alien.
Yes, Resident
Most recently.
Alien.
Does a lot of good voice work.
Was it Mr. Nobody in Doom Patrol, which I just saw the 4th season is airing again. I didn't know they were
I gotta
making.
watch it someday.
I didn't know they're doing a 4th season, so I was kind of excited about
I have
that.
season 1 and I've never watched it.
I thought the last season 3 got a little weird towards the end, but I mean, I'll go with it.
There we go. We did it. We got through them.
We did.
Hopefully you are all still awake. Let us know.
Please
Agree,
let us know.
disagree.
What do you think of our choices?
Rumor is there's a website called the Tree of Geek where you can do this.
Yep, treeofgeek.com. Hit the contact us. Let us know what you think. You can jump over to our show
I think
notes.
people are sick of hearing it yet.
Oh, absolutely. Jump over to the show notes page. It's there for the first couple episodes. I need to keep up with it, but I'm
My
working
show
on
notes
it.
are a little more colorful than what I spoke into the microphone.
It happens. And if you're really enjoying the podcast, please consider becoming a subscriber with us on treeofgeek.com. You can hit the Help Us Grow tab and make a monthly donation of $3 to $10. It's totally up to you. Every penny will go towards improving the podcast and help us keep making this content that hopefully you're still listening to right
You
now.
can help his crippling comic book buying addiction.
No.
That's what it's all going to go to Spider-Man comics. Let's tell the fans how it really is.
Every penny's going to go cover our hosting fees for these
Yes.
episodes.
Yeah, for sure, man. Right.
Because it turns out, y'all,
It ain't
this
free.
isn't cheap.
No, it is not.
But I will say it, and I'll say it again, regardless of what would you call it, subscribers, sponsors, whatever you want to call it, contributors. I absolutely love doing this. I know Michael absolutely loves this, and I am pretty sure we agree that we're going to be doing this
I'm doing it a while.
as long as we can.
I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going nowhere. As long as we got one of you people listening, unless it's John. Nah, I'm just kidding, John. As long as somebody's out there. Hey, Steep,
Emily,
John, Eric, Emily, those are all people I actually know listen.
Zach,
Zach
Joe, if he listens the whole way through.
at double speed. Apparently listens to
Yeah,
podcasts at double
yeah.
speed.
Who listens to? Do you listen to
It's a thing.
podcasts?
They say it's a thing. They
No,
zip through them.
no. That's
Yeah.
just so weird.
I don't do that.
No way. I did it the one day. I listened to Mysterious Universe. Shout out to them. If you're into paranormal, aliens, Bigfoot, you name it, that is the place to go. It is phenomenal. Two Australians arguing it out about paranormal. I mean, how much better can it get? But I kicked it up to 1.25, and I'm just like, I can't follow along. It's going too
No,
fast.
no, definitely not. No, thank you.
Find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you watch videos of us not on the video but to listen to the podcast. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So until next time,
Thank you for joining this session.
have a good night or day.
As we used to say back in the day, late. We on your soul.